Show you how to replace the toilet. This toilet is actually still good. It's color. It's a good toilet. However, it's almond color, and I've been trying to fix up this toilet, as you can see, with a white basin, that it doesn't match anymore. Anyway, so I could just replace the wax ring and put the toilet back, but I figured this is the original toilet from when we first moved in the house. A good toilet, but it's pretty old, and I'd like to put a new one in. So, and the reason I know that the wax ring has given up already is that you could see through here on the grout lines, some of the water, I think, has been seeping through when you flush the toilet. So we're gonna, first thing to do is shut off the valve, of course, right there, and then empty out the toilet with the water. And you're gonna have to scoop up some of those waters after a while, but basically just take them all up and take the toilet off. And one thing that I wanted to mention is before you buy your new toilet is that figure out what the rough-ins are. Rough-in is the measurement from the finish wall, not the baseboard, but from the finish wall to that bolt over there. Pretty much the standard and most typical sizes would be 12 inches. So that would be your 12 inches rough-ins from the finish wall to the center of this bolt. I have a 12-inch ones, which is pretty good. So make sure the toilet that you get, has those measurements. Some of the older homes will have 10 inches and also 14 inches. And so this is the toilet that I'm going to be installing in there. I'm going to take you step by step, but it's white porcelain, replacing that almond color, so it'll match more with the vanity in the toilets. It's a very small space and tight space in there, so I had to find the smallest toilet that I could find, and this is what I found. So the valve is off, as you can see. Water flow is off. Now to get rid of all the liquid in the bowl, and you're just gonna have to scoop it up. So I've taken out loosen up the bolts here, in here, and generally, you should take the tank off first before the toilet, but this is simple enough. I got the water line unplugged. I should be able to just pull this out, snap it out, and there it is. This is pretty dirty, so let's clean this up. That's what it was. Some of this wax were starting to fail. So this is the old wax. Okay, so this is what it looks like now with the old wax ring taken off, cleaned up. As you can see, this is where the bolts used to be. There's going to be 2 bolts that comes out that you need to hook up to the toilet later, but this is where it goes in. See this wider one here? I'll show you that later, but that's where one of the bolts will go, and the other bolts will come up here. So the next thing to do is turn the new toilet upside down. So this is where the flange and the new wax will go. And this should be the wax set. Okay, so these are the new bolt that's gonna go up and secure the toilet to the floor. And here's the new wax ring. This is what it looks like. Put the wax this way. And later on, once we secure it to the drain, we'll rock it back and forth and put a pressure on it, and the wax should seal in through there. We'll go ahead and put in the new bolts in here. So now all the bolts, both bolts are up. We're gonna before I start pressing this, I just want to do a rough fitting. So Looks about good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a pressure in here and seal the toilet to the ground. Get a bolt and a washer. Do it on the other side. What I'm going to do is put more pressure on here. I want to do it evenly, so do that. And then go ahead and tighten it. Secure the bolts on both sides, and then let's start attaching the tank. We're putting the tank on the toilet because it's a two-piece toilet, and it's gonna vary from what you have, but in this case there are two bolts that bolts into the toilet, and there's some rubber flange in there, and there's also some rubber ones in there in between, and we just tighten that up. The bolts are secured. New water line. I had to get a longer one that's 16 because the one that was there was 12 inches long and it didn't reach the water line. But seats are up, bolts are in, tanks are on, flush is nice. Cover. There it is. All done. And so there it is. White toilet in. Installed, and it matches more with the vanity.